Everybody have a pen?
Yes. I do. I have a pen, but no paper.
You don't need a pen. I mean,
I ran out of that.
if you want to take notes, you could take some of
them. Vitality. I gotta go.
Okay, we're zooming. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to cut this part out of the video of me yawning. 6 o'clock, sleepies.
What time do you come in, Casey?
I didn't get here till late today because I started from home finishing up stuff on the computer, and then I had to drop the dog off, get babysat. Rosie's dog, because he's older. My dog can go in his crate and he's okay, but he's got to go out.
Oh, hi. Hey. Is somebody here? No?
No, you are.
I think I'll take this.
I like that chair.
Hi.
Good. How are you?
I was hoping you were coming.
Twice in 1 week, or maybe more.
Yay. And here's Colleen. Good.
Hi everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Colleen.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay.
Colleen, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Good.
I
How
am
was
good.
the tour?
How was,
The grocery tour.
oh my gosh, it was great. It was
Yeah.
great.
That was
Got a
really
lot of-
fun. Sorry it was so long, but that's just the way it works.
Yeah.
Casey knew better. She had a date with her husband.
I said I can't. I'm not gonna make it by
She
saying.
knew me. I was like thinking it's only going to be an hour. Then I remember I looked. That was the first time I looked, and it was 8:45. I was like, oh my god.
Happens every
I
time.
know.
I thought of her
There's a
right
lot to talk about. That's a really big store too, so
That
it's
is.
got a lot of stuff in it.
I
But it
knew
was
when
good.
I knew when I got to the meet, I was like, okay, I'm done here. I'm pretty tired.
Right.
Yep, I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, so that's September 1st, and you all can put that on your calendar.
I'm good with that. That works for me.
I forgot that short.
Oh, okay, the roadmap. Okay, okay, good.
Roadmap and then the fiber track.
Oh yeah, how was tracking fiber?
It's hard.
It is hard, right?
Let me tell
It's
you, I
not
did,
easy.
And I am just really happy.
Good. Very good. Brings a new light to what you choose on a daily basis, right?
Oh my gosh.
Then you start thinking about everything you choose. You're like, well, is there fiber in it? Is there? Rosie asks me everything. As she's opening the fridge, she's like, what's got fiber?
I look at everything up. Cucumbers.
Yeah.
Guess what?
No, you can ask Alexa.
Or 2 grams of iron.
Yeah.
Alexa.
That's what I do. Even I do it.
Uh-huh.
Like, Alexa, how much fiber's in
Android
this?
has Alexa.
What is it? Did you do it on your?
Is that what
phone?
you do, Colleen? I see you
Yep,
shaking
I
your-
was, I definitely was using her too.
Carol was using Alexa
Yeah.
to track her fiber.
Was she?
Yeah, it was a good idea.
Yeah, that was great. I know. I came home and my husband said, I cooked salmon. I'm like, oh yeah, did you follow the recipe? I asked Alexa and I was able to cook it. I was like, that was great. And then he comes to me another day, goes, could you make me some hard-boiled eggs? I goes, I asked Alexa, but they're all messed up.
Oh.
I'm like, here, come on, let's go in. We'll make these eggs. We can do it. It was really cute because for so long, I don't eat eggs. But we raised our own hens. Like, why won't you eat your own food? Like, it makes no sense to me. Now, that really made me feel better when I ate that egg when I went running. I'm like, well, of course. Like, because he's like, as you get older, you need protein, and he eats like no protein. So that's why I'm like trying to get him to eat more protein because he just keeps getting thinner and thinner, So it's important. So, okay, so we're waiting on Carol. Is that Rosie with Lucky? Hi,
Hello.
Lucky.
Hi. We're traveling. We'll be home soon.
We went to the babysitter today. I told Georgia what happened.
So Lucky had a on the
Slight
couch.
miscommunication.
Will you please watch me today?
She does that.
Yeah.
sometimes.
Slight miscommunication.
I was
It's
gonna
fine.
break
It worked out.
We would see it. It was so cute though. I came downstairs and he's just sitting there with this little sign next to him, like, "Will you babysit me?" And I was like, "I wish I could, but I gotta go to work." So he went to his other aunt's house around the corner.
So I want to start tonight with talking about that fiber thing. I want to, because I just want everybody to hear I've heard so many epiphanies this week, and I want to hear everybody, you all express it, because it was pretty significant. So if we could everybody say what you learned, and if you tracked sugar, that's fine too. But I want to feel like what you felt for the past 2 weeks, and what you experienced.
Okay, I'll start.
Okay.
I was diligent because I have been so, without too much information, I am just so irregular. So I was looking for something that would make me, go every day and feel better. And let me tell you, it's hard getting the 35 in, but I was determined every day to do it. And after 2 days, I became like normal. Like I was just so regular and I feel so much better. So I'm gonna have to keep it up, and I think I might have been eating too much, because to get that in. But I think I'm reversing it. You know what I mean? At first I was eating too much, but I think now I know where to get it, and it's more, vegetables. And as long as I do a shake in the morning that has like at least between 20 and 25 in it, that gets me off to a good start. Now, if I don't do that shake, then I don't know how I would get it in the rest of the day, because it would be almost impossible. And I realize that beans don't bother me as much as I thought they bothered me. They don't bother me at all. So for me, I have to remember how I feel right now and not stop, because it was very good for me.
That's great. And then what you said to me is like, I am a happy girl. I'm
smiling every morning.
I'm smiling every morning. And it was like, just so heartwarming to hear that, right?
It's true. It's very true.
And and that's the thing, you don't know that that's like not something you go around with. Hey, I'm constipated. You know what I mean? Like, but like it's more common than you think. It really
I'm
is.
sure it
Hence
is.
the
Yeah.
reason why people are on all kinds of.
Well, as
Laxative.
diligent as you are, I'm not diligent, but I was eating a lot of fruit, berries and stuff. And today I had avocado and cucumber remain my favorite lettuce, my favorite salad. Right after, it really works. And I didn't think I was really noticing it before today. Consciously, I knew I was coming here. I'm like, crap, I'm gonna have to say something.
So we need to have meetings every day for Dawn. But right, avocado has what, 9 grams of fiber, right? That's simple fat. So it's like kind of
Cucumber
takes.
has 2.
Yeah, that's great. Oh gosh, I love hearing this. Who else wants to share your?
In tracking my fiber. I did 2 days and then just couldn't get into it. But one thing I did that was very eye-opening was track how much was in my typical smoothie, and that was all I needed. That wasn't like tracking anything else. As long as I know I have that.
Right, because your smoothie is similar to mine. It's
Yeah.
loaded with, because I saw when you
It
posted
had
it.
33 and a half.
Oh,
Because
that's
I make
really
a really
good.
lot of it.
Okay.
But so today I actually made a smaller one this morning. I made 4 cups of spinach instead of 6 for the first time.
Okay.
And like 1 cup of protein, so I altered it a little, so it wasn't quite 33. But I was glad to know
That's
that.
great. And you don't need to have a 33-gram smoothie, right? That's a little.
25. Is it 25 a day?
25 to 35 a day.
Oh,
And everybody's body is individual, also depending on what you're going through, right? And it really is about that. Do you want to share yours?
Sure. I thought it was 25 too, but I'm gonna shoot for 35 now, I think. But it's really changed things for me, and I will Google, the fiber contents. And then when I take pictures of my food and healthy is when I add it in. So I add it in, and then the next morning I actually log it on my sheet.
I mean, you put it in the comments.
I put it in the
That's
comments.
a good
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah.
that's good.
Like with everything, it's so easy to do it. Like you just look it up on, you how many things,
And eventually it'll
So-
come second nature, right? And you're going to know because you feel better, right? You're going to the bathroom, your skin is clearer, your weight is moving in the right direction. There's lots of benefits to eating this way.
I did want to add one more thing.
Yeah.
Though. I shared that whole high fiber sheet on our Love Your Body, Love Your Life thing. And I did a ShopRite online order that I picked up tonight after work. And like I got a bunch of stuff from that, mostly a lot of garbanzo beans because they're like so high in fiber and you can just throw them into anything. But that's what I did. And so now I got all this stuff in the house. So
That's good.
That's great. So Colleen or Rosie, do you want to go?
Sure.
I can go. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Colleen.
All right. So for me, definitely like everybody is saying, I did the shake thing because that was pretty much the only way I was going to, for sure, get the fiber in. So just not as hungry. Thankfully, didn't really have any issues in the bathrooms prior to this. So it was really more about just feeling more satisfied, if you will, and not needing anything else in between. I would have that shake in the morning and it was hard pressed for me to even say, oh, it's lunchtime, let's eat. I would eat probably a little bit later. I would go a longer period of time. That was probably the biggest difference that I saw for sure. And weight. And I did lose some weight on the scale. So that was a good thing too, of course.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I do. Yeah, being full, nobody else mentioned that. So thank you. Yeah, feeling satisfied. It does
Yeah.
hold you a bit longer and less cravings.
Yep, for sure. For sure.
So for me, Georgia and ladies, for me it was a little challenging. I think Lisa mentioned this. I was struggling between in the very beginning trying to get my fiber in and staying within my, my calories and portions for the day. So once I kind of learned, okay, wait, having this fiber could maybe, have me overeat a little bit too much. I kind of learned to just have these little tricks of, and you guys sharing on Facebook always helps, like having the berries and maybe adding some flax seeds to my shakes and stuff. But I will say it was a lot harder than I thought it was getting the fiber in. But it was really good because I felt not only more regular, but it was just a healthier process, if you know what I mean. It was just, you feel better. I felt lighter. I lost a little bit of weight too.
Yeah,
So
you through some weight numbers.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's something I'm going to keep up. I'm going to, again, to me, it's about the balance of making sure I get the fiber in within the calories that I'm trying to manage too. But it's definitely something I'm going to keep an eye on for sure. It was a good experience.
Yeah, that's great. And for you all, like I did this alongside of you. So I counted my fiber along the way and it was really, really enlightening. And same thing, like I also learned all the things that you have learned more, but I also dropped a few pounds. Like that was great. I wasn't trying. Yes, I always want to lose that extra COVID, but it just happened because I was just focusing on that fiber, right? And it's always that effortless weight loss that makes you feel the best, right? It's that one. And then just a reminder, the fiber, when we eat those fruits and those vegetables and those plant-based proteins and those plant-based fats, that's what our bodies create and synthesize and make hormones. So when our hormones are balanced, like we need that. So that's why it's really important forevermore to think this. Like this isn't like the challenge that goes away. Like this is the one that stays for you till you take your last breath, right? Like it really is, it is about that. Okay, so we all got there. So today we're going to do nutrition for beauty. That's going to be, we're having issues getting.
Do you know the password to this, or should I just
No,
put it away?
never know the password.
Fighting with the apples.
Yeah, sorry.
We'll leave it off.
But basically, what we're going to talk about today is nutrition, beauty, like from the inside out. And it's kind of just like piggybacks with what we talked about last time, right?
Is that big enough for us to all just kind of inside of the table? We could all sit on the side you're on, or I don't know if
Yeah,
you
well,
want
we
that.
would all be like that, and I could see.
Like I know you
here.
guys have to see it too, but
Yeah.
is that
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's really fine. Casey, can you be the one that flips it? And like you know, when you did your cleanse and you took out alcohol and you took out sugar, and you knew that people would say like something's different about you, or you would look in the mirror and you're like, oh, I have a glow, right? It felt like that's what this is. That was what it was about. You got rid of those processed foods, those things that weigh us down, right? We got rid of the sugar that throws off. Okay, so we'll talk about this more, but whatever we eat and that doesn't get properly digest gets eliminated. There's a couple different ways it gets eliminated through urine, feces, and skin, right? And so sometimes it's going through our skin in an unhealthy way. It shows up as, you know, acne and, you know, discolor, you know, being pale. We're not getting the nutrients that, you know, the silica that gives that nice healthy glow, right? So we really want to focus on that part. Does that make sense? So let's go. Okay, so we'll just go circle back to next meeting is August 11th, and then the rest of the month we don't have a meeting. So just one meeting in August. This one is going to be on, you know, back to basics, kitchen staples, cook along, and then so in the Facebook group, if we can, in the next couple weeks, like, you know, next week. What do you need support with when you're dealing with the kitchen? Is it variety? Is it using more spices? Is it learning about vinegars? What is it that you need support so we can build the lesson more on what you need? Okay, so just put in there. That would be great, or you know, or just talk to me either way. And then remember, don't forget to print your new roadmap to vitality. So this sheet, I just want to talk about that. The purpose of this sheet is to rewire our brain so we feel successful, right? When we feel successful, when the brain feels like it's doing the good things, it's going to keep doing good things for us. It's going to keep creating good health habits. If we wait and just do all of our roadmaps later on, not in that moment, I know it's hard to do, but if you do it in the moment, for specifically for things you have difficulty with, okay, so maybe like you're good with certain things, because a lot of you probably by now have mastered a lot of things and don't need this, but if there's one thing that you're really struggling with, drinking water, whether it's I don't know, whatever your thing is, if you take that roadmap and you put a star on it, or a check mark, or a stickers might even be better, it's going to send these really good positive things to your brain to create more success. But if you wait till later, body doesn't know. It's like you're not going to get that reward. It's just like me and my dog, right? And my dog, if I see this nice screen, see how nice that is?
Oh, it's back.
You see? Well, last week, my doggie, hi Carol, my doggie bit here, and it was broken. But I was with a client. I couldn't say anything to my doggie. So from there, what I had to do later on was, everybody's like, well, did you reprimand? Well, no, because it was later. It didn't know.
Sure.
Right. It wasn't an appropriate time. So same thing with good behavior. You wanna reward good behavior, right? Bad behavior at the same time, or pivot. But the same thing with us. We're no different, right? So we want to reward our good behavior in healthy ways. And if we do that by checking those things off, it's a really good way. Maybe you can't do that in that moment, but you did do some good behavior. Acknowledge yourself in that moment, you know, go to the bathroom and give yourself a high five, you know, do something that rewards your, you know, jump up and down. Like, you know, like Rosie, right? Like Rosie had a great week. She went on vacation and did followed the fiber thing and lost weight. You know, that's amazing. So she should be rewarding herself with that. And rewarding doesn't mean reward food, right? Rewards can be other. Okay, so that's about the roadmap. I just want to like point that out. And then August 1st is National Friendship Day. So on that day, you know, maybe go in your calendars and, you know, reach out to somebody in the group and just, you know, offer some support. Yeah, okay. So this is what we're going to do today. Opening exercise. And Casey's going to go over this exercise. Some of you may have done this before, but it doesn't matter if you've done it before. You can do this on a monthly basis. You could do this on a quarterly basis. It's a really great way to see where you are and where we need to focus your energies, right? Because we can't focus on everything. We can only focus on a few things at a time to truly make some changes. And then we're going to talk about the vitamins and minerals. We're going to talk about the importance of daily detoxing, mindful eating, sugar, and then 3 changes, and then we're going to create a plan.
Yeah, I know.
So we had somebody print these out. So these are not exactly what we wanted to.
Yeah.
They're not perfect,
We'll go up.
but it is what it is.
Does everybody have a pen?
No.
Yes.
Oh, can you go?
I have them right here. I have a couple
I have
extra.
some, I can-
She did teach us. She had
I think Lisa might have.
Colorful one.
I got all kinds of options.
Oh, there you go. Now you might want something
Wow.
colorful.
Yeah, could be. So,
That's fine.
thank you.
Okay. Has anyone not done this exercise before?
don't
And if you
know.
did, it's probably been a while either way.
Mhm.
So we're gonna go over it. So we call this like the circle of life, or I think it's called circle of life. So basically you can see it has all these different little spokes to the wheel, different areas of your life, whether that be career, education, health, joy, spirituality, you know, and home cooking. So it kind of gets a little specific within certain areas. And what we're gonna do is put a circle, put a dot, sorry, on the line that's underneath of each title. So that's kind of where you'll gauge yourself on each different department. So least satisfied is in towards the middle, and then most satisfied is out towards the edge. So if you're very satisfied in your career, it couldn't get any better, you're gonna put a circle out on the farthest part of the circle there. And then once we're done doing each one, we're gonna connect it and kind of see what our circle looks like as a whole. So just spend a couple minutes, you know, assessing that. And kind of go with your gut instinct, don't overthink it.
And I'm going to go make us a smoothie.
Oh, I'm waiting all day.
looks like a bell.
I was gonna say, mine looks
Bell,
like
a little bit of
a bird head.
Or-
Beak.
a
Something.
shamrock, maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Bird.
I'm so relaxed right now. I'm so relaxed.
Did you have a busy day?
I did.
It's the first time you're sitting down.
I think so.
You had work today, right?
I did.
In the building.
And then picking up groceries,
Right.
then another meeting, then drop off my car, then meet with Joanne. We all have
One
busy
thing after
lives,
another.
right? I was up at 5.
This doesn't work on here.
Oh, here, this one.
Time you go to bed, you
I
should
sleep
sleep.
good.
Get this
I
one.
sleep really good till 5 a.m.
My career is over, so I guess it's good.
1:45.
Guess it's over.
It was great, right?
It was
Like a night
great. It
sweat?
was great,
Or no?
right?
It's like I'm
It's
waking up.
here. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's good.
I do my
Relationships are good. Social life is
Colleen, did you do the
Me
wheel?
too. It does.
I did. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Rosie, I know you're still driving, so
Do the wheel.
yeah, she's doing a different wheel
Do
right
your
now.
steering wheel.
Yeah.
Don't worry about this wheel.
Almost home, guys. Almost home.
So my son turned 18 last month, and I was so stressed before he turned 18 because it's like the clock starts ticking. And because he has autism, you got to get him on Social Security, Medicaid, blah, blah, blah. And it's a lot. It's like a lot. Well, then my sister passed away. And I'm like, well, that's going to the wayside for a little bit. And then, you know, we started again. And he's doing good. He's on his Medicaid starts Sunday.
Nice.
And then his Social Security, we're, you know, mailing back and forth with the people. But I had to interview, the phone interview, because they don't let you in the building anymore unless it's a critical case emergency.
interesting.
Nobody wants to work.
Colleen, are you all done?
I am. Thank you.
You're welcome. So click through here.
This
Oh,
will give you like a.
or just directions were on here, but I said them anyway.
It's a shame.
Did everybody connect all their dots?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So basically, move this, move our people over here. There we go. You know, you want to look and see how round your circle is, right? Where any dents are happening is kind of where you can focus a little bit more. And, you know, this, you might say, why does this relate to beauty, or why does this relate to the topic that we're doing today? But our outer appearance and how we feel about ourselves and how we look on the outside sometimes is a reflection of how we are on the inside. Like, I know for me, when I'm stressed, like, I break out. It's just how I work, right? So, you know, if I'm not doing, you know, I have to do a little beak situation going on here, you know, like one side of mine is like really nice and round, and then there's a couple dents over here. Home cooking, I could do a little better, still getting used to, you know, being moved in, and the pantry's a mess, which gives me anxiety, and I don't want to open the doors, so I just don't open it, and, you know, leave it at that. I'm really busy right now trying to get everything done, so my like social joy, you know, is a little bit low, you know, so you can kind of go back and just like reflect on different things, and you maybe can't change something about it right now, but at least coming to terms with it and just saying it's a tough time right now, I'll get through it, you know, kind of makes it a little easier to deal with. But some things we can do something about. So right there, I can say, okay, my next project, I was telling Dawn, I'm working on like one little section of the house at a time. Maybe my next project is the pantry, because I bought all these things to organize, but I have to put them together, which I
yeah.
don't want to do.
Did you go to the Dollar Tree?
I love the Dollar
I love
Tree.
the Dollar Tree
They
for
have
that
very nice
stuff,
shelf
yeah.
liners right now. Which is
Mhm.
nice. My grandma put them all inside my cabinet.
Oh,
She
that's
loves doing
nice.
that stuff. Yeah, she's so cute. So we have to do the pantry with those, and then I have like a can rotator organizer for all the beans that I buy all the time, because I just don't like to have like old pans and little
could do the marble
stacking
thing, too.
shelves. What is it?
You could do the marbles inside a cake pan, and then put another cake pan,
Oh, to make
on
it a
top of the
lazy
marbles,
Susan.
and then put your cans in there.
Ah, that's a good
And
idea.
spin it.
That is a good idea. Being as I don't bake, I
You
will
are
never use the
loaded
cake
with
pans for
knowledge.
anything else.
Useless knowledge, but
No, that's a good
That's a
idea.
good one.
That's a good idea. So just take this and kind of look at it and reflect on it on your own. What can you change on a daily basis, or maybe what can you implement? You know, if your social life is one that's kind of low, like mine was, take advantage of the friendship day coming up. Reach out to a friend, plan something, do something. You know, sometimes it's just a matter of making one phone call or sending a text. I know with my friends, we all live right near each other, but we're all so busy. One of my friends has a baby, the other one's just moving into her house, so everyone's crazy. But she also has a pool, so that's where we go to hang out. So, Colleen, how did you like doing this exercise? Have you done it before?
No, nope, never did it before. And yeah, I definitely don't have a circle.
Okay.
So there's some areas to work on for sure.
A dent or two, don't worry. But this is, you can even find this online. Like if you wanted to, you know, do your own like monthly check-in with yourself, you could print it out and do it, you know, as a whole check-in whenever you want. So
You
we-
know, Blaine isn't one of those. I think I might take it to a friend.
yeah. Yeah.
Actually, two. I think I might have two extra.
Do
Or
it
maybe
just a
not.
matter. No, I do.
Oh, do you? All right.
Right, just
Oh,
provide
yeah.
the direction. Yeah, because they're like the slides of the thing. Okay. Well, let's put our friends back over here. Okay, so here's just an optional thing. If you want to flip it over, you can write some things down. You know, after looking at it, write down 3 to 5 things that you might feel be contributing to this PowerPoint. We're talking about skin issues, but it could be anything. You know, if you're just feeling like low energy or you're feeling stressed out, you know, we always have those kind of like nagging things in the background. Like, I know I need to do this, but I just haven't gotten to it yet. Like, what can you do to kind of alleviate, you know, where you're struggling on your wheel? So, you know, my home cooking is low and I'm eating out a lot, which might be contributing to why I don't feel good or why my skin might be looking dull or why I'm, you know, feel bloated or why I haven't been drinking a lot of water. You know, there could be any multitude of things that you could talk about. Finances are a huge stress for a lot of people, and that's why it's on this wheel, because they do cause a significant amount of stress. So, you know, that can be something that you work towards looking at. Those are just examples, but you know, sometimes just thinking through it or writing something down can really help. Okay, we'll wait for Georgia to do the quiz. Georgia, how's your smoothies?
Well, don't tell me what's in it. I won't drink it.
Really simple. It's
Yeah,
not
they're
a lot
good.
of ingredients.
Nothing crazy.
And I did forget to put on my shopping list something that was in the recipe, but we always adjust.
And the recipes for the smoothies will be on the website. And now that we have the new website, we have, it's like a little printable version. So you can just
Oh,
go on
that's
there and print it,
nice.
right? It's a really nice, it's not like gonna print you the whole website like it used to. It's just the recipe. So
That's good.
definitely.
Do you like Crunch Master?
What is that?
The crackers. Yeah,
I've never had.
you
Yeah,
do.
I mean, I do
Some.
like them. I mean, they're still a processed food. You
Yeah,
just have to be careful of eating too many or you'll feel kind of low.
right. Because I was looking at the ingredients and there's flaxseed in there.
Mm.
So I was proud of myself today.
That's good.
I like
All right, we
rosemary,
have to applaud ourselves.
rosemary and olive oil.
So this is our watermelon
Yum.
cucumber smoothie.
Yeah.
Should
we pass it around?
Okay. Pass them around.
How much fiber, Georgia?
I know.
That's for you all to figure out. So there's cucumber, there's watermelon, lime, chia seeds, basil,
I smell the basil.
Thank you.
lime.
Smells
Yeah.
yummy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I know.
Cheers.
Cheers.
What about you? Wait,
I know.
waiting for
Oh my
you.
gosh, that's so good.
Okay,
There we go.
cheers.
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 Cheers. Cheers, Colleen and
There was
Mercy.
supposed to be spinach in this recipe. I forgot to put it on the shopping list. I looked in the refrigerator and it's not there.
Oh,
So
it's good.
there we go.
It is really good.
So refreshing.
It is refreshing.
I remember.
How funny. I named it I Am Refreshing.
Oh, that's
I did. You'll
funny.
see it on the website. Yeah.
Well, all right. I'll drink to that.
I know, right? Cheers. Lisa, you used to put watermelon in your smoothies a lot.
Mhm.
Didn't I remember?
Yeah, watermelon and basil. I love
Mhm.
that.
I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah,
you
it's
put
I
really
actually
good.
haven't done it once this summer. Now this reminds me to do that.
There you go.
Is this basil from your garden?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And cucumbers. And that was it. The watermelon I did not put.
Do you have basil? I know you have basil, but do you have cucumbers?
They're not doing so well.
Oh.
The squish bugs got them. Squish bugs?
So,
Yeah, but
Can we estimate how much fiber might be in this little cup?
Not much.
No
How
idea.
much?
Watermelon doesn't have fiber.
I just read that watermelon is high G on the GI list. Is that accurate? I didn't realize that.
What's the GI?
That's like sugar, right?
Oh.
Glycemic index. No wonder I like it.
Oh, it is,
Yeah, but it's like,
but it's not.
We're not gonna eat like a whole watermelon in
Right.
one sitting. Like that's
If
carrots
you
are on that list too, but
Okay,
that
alright.
we're not. We want to eat carrots.
right, okay.
Right.
And if we
Just-
eat in season, we eat when
Yeah.
we have it available, then our digestive environment is going to be, or digestive garden. I want to read something to you all. It's going to be happy, right?
Okay.
It's like really important that way. But like Lisa drank it, she instantly said she connected to what that was. I am refreshed, and then you all you kind of, it was like a symphony, right? Yeah, it's so refreshing. So why would we, because it's some scientists put this on to high GI and not
Right.
eat it when it's
Right.
God's food,
Right.
right? Like it doesn't
That's
make any sense, right? So we have to go back into that, like into our heart and say, I like it.
Okay.
Like you, that's why I like it, right? But you like it because it's a gift, right?
Right.
And then we just put these two together, cucumber, watermelon, in the same family. They're really great together, right? And you notice that when you go to like the spa, they have that really nice cucumber water, and you just like, you really feel that. And that's kind of the same thing. You saw it took a couple minutes. It's a little different than the smoothies that you all have every day, but it's a nice thing, like a refreshment, like
It
have
is.
people over in the afternoon. Because like literally, this is not okay. It's beauty, really going to help enhance your beauty for that inner glow. It's low calorie. It's not, it's got some of those good fats. It has some fiber, not a ton, but you can feel like it's not, you're not going to like want to go eat Reese's now. And you're not going to want a cookie now because you feel so clean, right? And that's what you want to focus on. Watermelon, the good thing about watermelon is alkalizing, right? It's soothing all that inflammation in your body. Yes, it might be high if we ate a ton of it, but we're not, we're not doing that. And so sorry you guys didn't get to have that, Colleen and Rosie, but you'll have the recipe. Did we talk about our thing?
We did. We went over it. Mine looks like a bird head, maybe an eagle. But
Cool.
everybody went through theirs. Some reflecting on. Colleen did hers on mine.
Good.
Everyone liked it. Now we're on our quiz. Do you want to do the skin quiz?
Okay, so our quiz. Our skin is our largest organ at approximately how many feet? Have any idea?
Join.
7.
No, more than that,
Oh.
right? It's big.
Probably have more feet than all of you.
You're taller.
10.
So,
More
10
than
feet.
that. Yeah, so there's
Wow.
22.
22 feet.
Yeah, so just remember that your skin is your largest elimination organ. So when we put crap in our bodies, right, it's going to come out in a couple
Wow.
different ways, and so sometimes it comes out in ways that we don't want, right? Like,
Everybody has up to 22 feet.
I think it's average.
Because I am only.
Yeah.
well, you have 18.
Yeah.
It's so, and then our skin is 64% water. Our skin tells us when something is wrong, right? Inside of our body.
This is true.
So this is so true, because this is like what you hear all the time. Do you want to say it? Do you want to talk about it? I don't know. You were like,
No, I will.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, like, my grandma, for example, she has really bad psoriasis. Like, her whole entire life, all over her body, never knew what was wrong. And they always do, like, external things to try to deal with it. Creams, lotions, baths, this and that and the other. But that comes from something that's wrong with the inside, right? But she doesn't believe that, so she doesn't treat for it. She just keeps putting on all the lotions and things. So when she came to live with my mom, and she was eating a lot better and actually drinking water, and my mom was really on top of her skin improved so much. And she said, no, it must be the air. Like, it's not the air, it's what you're eating, because you're actually eating real food. You're eating vegetables, you're drinking water. When she was at home, she was by herself, nobody was on her to do that. So acne is another thing. You know, I know if I eat dairy products, for example, I will get a pimple from here to here at some point within the following 24 hours. I would put money on it. It's just how my body works, right? It's because it's expelling whatever, you know, it just doesn't agree with me. So that's how my body gets rid of those toxins.
And some people get eczema.
Mm-hmm.
It's another one. A lot of times it's coming up as a food sensitivity. Their body is just showing up. So it like Casey said, it's not necessarily putting on those creams that's gonna. I'm not saying that sometimes they don't help, but we really want to identify what the inflammation's going on the inside, because it's gonna, you know, whenever something's showing up on the outside, what's going? There's direct relationship in. Just like we could eat the proper diet, we could do everything, and Casey probably already said this, but yet we're miserable in all these areas of our life. There's no glow happening, right? You have to have the inside and the outside, you know, matching up. And we have the ability to ingest things through our skin, good and bad. Do you want that?
Huh?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So drinking plenty of water keeps our skin plump and bright. Water helps flush toxins out of our body. Water helps with feeling satisfied. Yes. Water aids in
Digestion.
Good. Yeah, so that's where it's important that, you know, getting in the habit 20 minutes before a meal, drinking water. So you're softening that, moistening that bicarbonate layer, getting those digestive juices going. If you don't, your digestion isn't going to be as good, and then your skin is going to have more of those toxins going through it. So we're going to think like that. Water boosts alertness and supports brain function. Water regulates body.
Temperature.
Yeah, good. So water makes up, you know, 60% of our body, and some people say it could be 75%. Water supports our cells, our organs, like we just talked about, keeps it plump. We already talked about all this. Yeah, so on the average, get half of your body weight in ounces. Right? So you don't need to get tons more than that, unless if you're like going out and working outside and sweating a ton, right? Simple ways to infuse your water. Right? And that is really a great idea. Or make tea. Peppermint tea, making combination of teas. I love like peppermint tea this time of year, but instead of having it hot, I want it cold. It's really hot out. So I'll like make it, put it in a big mason jar. It's in the refrigerator, and I'm drinking that all the time, and it just feels so good. Add lemon, cucumber, berries, mint. It's whatever it feels right. You know, you trust yourself. Just talked about tea, same thing, you know, tea is a wonderful way, and you could use a combination of tea bags. And then you can keep track of now Healthy has the ability to track your water, so you can use Healthy right through there if you need it for a reminder. Remember, in those things, when you do those things, it doesn't mean you need them forever. Once you master it, you don't need it anymore, you don't have to do it. But once you're, you know, but then you slack off again and you start to become a camel, then you need to go back to it.
A lot of people get really good during the summer because it's so hot, but then once it gets to winter and it's cold, they're not drinking the water anymore. So you know, getting the good habits now.
Mm-hmm. So questions on water. Can drinking water help clear my skin? Yeah. Can water help reduce wrinkles? Yeah.
I would say yes, it plumps up your skin, right?
Exactly.
Oh, there you go.
How much water do I need to drink each day?
No, you're half your weight.
Half your weight in ounces.
Your weight in ounces.
I'm doing pretty good with this, but,
I was gonna
you know,
say
I'd say
it's a good
yeah, well, Dawn inspired me, but I don't know if I can do half my weight. I'm gonna have to
Wow.
work on
You have to
that.
work up to it. You can't just go.
Well,
from
you
what-
get, and you get your water in other ways too, not just that.
Yeah, that's true.
Fruits and
Right.
vegetables.
That's true, my salads and
Tea
stuff.
and soup and salads, right? You know, you always can count those. Anybody else have any other questions about water? Okay. And remember, good quality water is important too, right? Making sure, you know, you're not drinking those plastic bottles, those Poland Springs, all that, you know, and keeping them in the car, right? Like if you get it inside the house. You don't need to be leaching those microplastics into your body. A water filter on your sink is better than buying those cases because they're just extra plastic that we don't really need. So, you know, thinking like that. You know, sometimes you can charge your water by just sitting it in the sun, and so just thinking.
Charge it, what does that mean?
Charge it. So, we should do a thing on this. So you can heal with water. Water has lots of amazing qualities, but they found that if you charge it by putting it in the sun, maybe putting like a crystal in it, putting those little affirmations, like whatever you want to put on it, it actually changes the chemical structure of the water, which will benefit your health. I have a book here. There's a Japanese researcher that wrote, you know, Heal with Water. He wrote a few different books. I'll put that on the list to talk more about that. But so just to keep in mind, water is like literally 75% of the planet in our bodies. So it's really important that we have good quality water, not water that's filled with, you know, toxins. And remember that ewg.org website, going on there and figuring out where you live, how's my water, you know, or if you have a well, get your well tested, make sure that things are good, because I think that's a big problem. Okay, I already got that. So what foods do you eat that provide water?
Cucumbers.
Mm-hmm.
Lettuce.
Mm-hmm.
Oranges.
Oranges.
Watermelon for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so all of your fruits and your vegetables have water in them. You know, beans, when you cook your grains, you know, there's still water in there. So what foods don't have water? Processed foods, yeah. No water there. But feeding your skin. So we want a diet that's full in antioxidants is key. And so we'll talk about that, comes up soon. I'm gonna just let that be. But it doesn't just keep our skin good, it keeps all of our organs good. And remember, the more, like we did this challenge the past 2 weeks about the fiber. Did anybody notice when you did that, did it crowd out other foods? Did you find yourself not eating other certain foods because you got all this fiber in?
I
Yeah.
did.
Me too.
I feel like I was trying to focus on, you know, using my nuts and stuff for snacks and like the bell pepper and hummus for snack instead of, you know, like get chips and salsa one day. You know what I mean? Like, even though I feel like I buy the good options, it's still processed foods. So
Yeah, I didn't think about that until you just said it, because I was so, you know, having like grilled vegetables with some like chickpeas instead of having a piece of chicken. So yeah, like I was eating a lot less meats, and because I was adding beans instead.
So it's a lot, do you understand? Like it's a lot easier to focus on putting the good things in our body than focus on, oh, I'm not going to eat this and I'm not going to eat that and that is bad for me, right? It's so much easier to focus. And really it's just all it is, it's a little shift here. Yeah.
you do that to me a lot. I say, I have to do this now. You get to do this. You always look at it the positive way. We
Right.
call it the Disney approach in our family. The happy approach. You're happy you get to.
And so this is great, the color chart, right? So we're going to talk about this in a second, but I have a story. So I went to the eye doctor the other day, and you know, he's just really big into talking about like the antioxidants in your eyes and, you know, the carotenoids that are in your eyes that prevent those diseases that you get as you get older, you know, the macular degeneration. And, you know, that's really painful. And so he's like, well, we have a test for this. I'm like, you have a test for it? He's like, yeah, there's a test. I'm like, I can do it right now. So I went and got my test done. And so basically, those carotenoids in your eyes, you can only get from foods, right? And colored foods. That's the only way. Your body does not make that. So it's really important. And I find just being in working with the geriatric population, they're on all these, you know, they're going on them at 70, 75 eye vitamins, where if they just did it earlier in their life, they wouldn't be having these issues, right? And so I find that that's super important. So I went in and got my little like test, and I found I scored in the high level of my carotenoids. So keep that in mind. Like there's three different for your eyes, three different antioxidants. Now, you don't necessarily need to know them, but you just need to think about, I'm going to eat all these colors, right? Like that's, you know, you're going to eat your oranges, your yellows, and your reds, and that's going to cover your eyes. Okay. And that's where you just back to, like we talked about fiber, but now like instead of just counting fiber, like how is my rainbow? Not only rainbow that way, but you can think about rainbow like looking at your life, that the more you have all those colors, how interesting are you feeling? Are you feeling uplifted? Are you feeling frustrated? You know, like those are things you want to pay attention to. They're all, everything is supposed to happen that way. Just, but we want to every day have lots of greens, so some sort of leafy greens, and then you can cycle these. You don't have to have every rainbow every single day, but every couple of days, make sure that you've cycled in those different colors and change it up. You can each, you know, maybe if you haven't bought red cabbage in a while, buy some red cabbage and use it. It's really a great thing to use, and you could pickle it. You could just add it to salads. You could stir fry it. You know, there's so many different ways you can do it. Eggplant's another one that's, you know, just remember to get those purple foods as well.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people struggle with that realm. The red cabbage, I like to do. We just made it recently. Well, Rosie made it. Buffalo cauliflower, like toss cauliflower in hot sauce and use the red cabbage as like the wrap or whatever you want to call it, like taco shell or something, and put that in the middle. And I blend up.
That's a great
I still
idea.
have to make her the sauce. I've been telling her about the sauce and haven't made. It's just avocado, lime juice, garlic, cloves, salt, a little bit of like oil or water to thin it out a little bit, and you just blend it in the food processor and put that on top inside of the thing. It's really good.
That sounds
You can
great.
add whatever
That
else you
sounds
want to it.
great.
Like I put shredded carrots in it before, it makes it look a little bit sweeter, like sweet and spicy, but even Anthony liked it. So just,
That's great.
yeah.
Yeah, like we used the red cabbage was in our Mexican meal last night. So it was like we had some quinoa, we had some sauteed kale, some refried black beans, and then like just a little bit of shredded on top was the cabbage, and then some lime. What else was in there? A little bit of guacamole on the top, and then some corn that was off the cob, just sprinkled on. So, and then some tomatoes. So, but it was like really, it was like a rainbow Mexican meal, right? So to kind of think about, you can use it for like that one head for all kinds of things. And there's so back to, we're going to talk about this a little bit, but the cleansing. Remember, we've done the cleansing twice a year. What we want now in between, we want to cleanse throughout the year. Every day we want to be cleaning. And that's the cabbage is those sulfur vegetables, those cruciferous vegetables that are good for us and good for that skin. So I don't really need to talk about that. Did you want to add anything about the rainbow?
We do have the rainbow like phytonutrient checklist. It should be in healthy. You guys should have access to it. But basically it has like each color, and then it's got 2 circles for each color, so you can kind of check off how
Have
you're
you had
doing
that?
each day. You guys seen it before?
I've seen it.
Yeah, I know I
I've seen
have it on
Yeah.
healthy. I'll make sure it's shared to everybody, but that's nice to be able just to print out
Yeah.
and put on your fridge or whatever, just to keep track.
And so once again, back to those like, you know, beets, and then, you know, back to those purples, blueberries are in season, avocados. Remember, wait, lemon, never forget about lemon. Lemon can be used in many different ways. Orange can be the sweet potatoes, the carrots. And then of course, you know, tomatoes, they can be raw, they can be cooked. When you cook those tomatoes, they grow, the lycopene increases, which is good for the eyes. And lycopene, by the way, those tomatoes, as much as you're hearing, might be hearing, you know, Dr. Gundry, don't eat tomatoes, but really what tomatoes do for us in New Jersey, you know, it prevents us from having that skin damage, you know, so, you know, definitely, unless if you have arthritis and you find that they bother you, it's really important to use.
Who says not to eat tomatoes?
So there's different, you know, medical leaders right now talking about lectins, and they're bad for you, and they're the reason that you're fat and those types of things, you know. But some people are sensitive to them, and not discounting that, right?
You can do things to foods to alleviate the effects of the lectins.
Right, soaking them.
Yeah, most people at this point.
So just a reminder, we all know this, but the liver is the body's filter. So when it's functioning properly, the toxins leave our bodies as they should. When livers are not functioning to their capacity, we're bloating, our skin's blotchy, we have acne, rosacea, acid reflux. So all those components have any questions on that?
The warm water with lemon that I try to do every morning, is that primarily for the liver?
Mhm.
Yeah. Is there not, like, can you do it in the evening as well, or is it really on the empty stomach that it's the best for your?
You could do it in the evening, or you could do it before a meal even.
So whenever you do it is good.
Yeah, but some people think like more is better, and sometimes more is not always better with lemon water. It depends on your body type. So just kind of keep it to like that. I just think keep it to the one, because it could, you know, cause other things that don't make you feel good. So here's your Joanne. Start your day with a cup of, pile on with each meal.
Vegetables.
Yeah. Incorporate herbs and spices like garlic is a good one, yes, but that's not what we're looking at. But garlic, oh yeah, garlic and turmeric. Okay. She does as much as possible to reduce, because cruciferous vegetables that we were just talking about, broccoli, kale, onions, cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, good for the liver. Take a break from
Drinking.
Rosie's not going to want to hear one of these.
Alcohol.
Coffee.
caffeine and alcohol.
Oh no. Bad connection. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll tell you when I get
In a tunnel.
Yeah.
So back to mindful eating, you know, and I think we all practice mindful eating the past couple of weeks, right? Counting our fibers and really paying attention to that. And you could see how that really, really plays a role. Sometimes we pay attention mindful eating, whether it's like portion control. Sometimes it's I'm not standing up. I mean, that's my thing lately, is like I have this puppy and now it's kind of a pain when I sit. She wants to like jump up and bark. So sometimes I find myself standing up, and you know, it's not good habit, right? It's not something to do. So for me, like when I look at that, I'm like, oh, okay, that's what I want to work on. So it's like always finding one thing, because we do get in different kinds of habits, right? And we just want to like, how can I get better? And it's not about being perfect. It's just about making that progress. But let's talk about this. What are some of your things about mindful eating in this summer that might be causing you? Just want to spend some time, because we still have like a whole other month of summer. Like what are some of your obstacles or struggles when we're dealing with mindful eating?
Ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Really. I love to go to the custard stand. It's really bad.
Uh-huh. And so what do you get done?
Chocolate, ice cream,
Mm-hmm.
custard.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What size?
Medium,
Okay.
but I should get a kitty size.
Or
A kitty
because you
size,
get the
yeah.
medium, maybe go down to the small, and maybe
Right.
by the end of the summer you get the kitty size.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's not like your body is
Right.
getting, because if you go from there to there, you might have that. You probably would be satisfied, but your brain's going to tell you other.
Exactly.
But if you go to
Yeah.
the small, it's going to make a difference,
Right.
and yet you're still eating your custard.
Because it's like part of the summer, the custard stand. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, I love
Or
it.
But
take
no-
a friend with you and share
Yeah, Lisa.
it.
What are some of the other struggles more pertaining to mindful eating in this summer?
Being teased. I went to the Phillies game on Monday. It was dollar dog night, and I don't eat hot dogs anyway, so I knew I wasn't going to have any. But like everybody was getting hot dogs, like they're wrapped in foil, and they had like arms full of. You can buy 10 at a time, and they're just and all the little foils all over the place, And then I brought a salad with chicken cut up on it because I had it in the fridge. It was already made. I just brought it. And of course, everybody's like, "What are you having?" So you get teased when you're around all this fattening stuff and you're eating
I've
something
had that
healthy.
problems at the game too, because sometimes I'll bring hard-boiled eggs and my kids will be like, "Don't take out those hard-boiled eggs."
Well, they smell.
So I get it. But I think socializing, I think you're right. I think you spend more time socializing and doing activities with a lot of people that involve food. And I think that is the hardest thing for the summer. But then again, that's the hardest thing in the winter too with the holidays.
It's the hardest
I think
thing.
socializing is the hardest thing.
Because everybody says, let's go get a bite to eat. Let's go. Yeah.
It's interesting. I listened to this one doctor once, and he talked about if you have these people that you love, why do you choose to eat foods that are poisoning each other? Why is that happening?
I didn't think of that. Yeah.
And it's something to think about, but that's the thing. That's why we want to either get our friends and family on board with us, right? And bring those healthier foods, bring those healthier drinks, or choose new friends.
Well, that was like the one year. I think it was a Thanksgiving we had at Rosie's old house. Remember that quinoa you made for Thanksgiving, the one cooking class? I made that and I brought it and I was like, everyone's gonna try it. I love it. Blah, blah. And I was the only one that ate it. But at least I brought it. They saw it. Maybe it created some kind of curiosity. Probably not.
Rosie there?
Lucky. Yeah. But I always try to bring something. I'm always the salad bringer.
Yeah,
So-
I try to bring stuff too, salad or fruit or
Yeah.
cut up veggies, something
Yeah.
so that.
You know at least it's there for you.
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly.
And
And that's what I do. I mean, I go to a party and I make sure I'm going to bring the food that I'm going to be satisfied with, and and if other people like it, fine. If not, I get to bring it home.
Yeah.
Right. And that way, I'm not going there and there's no complaints. Because you know what, you can't blame anybody else, right? It's you, and you get to choose how you want to live your life, right? But you can't. Oh, they didn't have anything for me to eat, so I had to eat what they had, right? That's not true, right? You have you have freedom. We have an overabundance of food. We can bring foods that we want.
2 Sundays ago, my mom had a big Sunday, Italian dinner, and I'm like, so, and I love her cooking and stuff. But you know what? I bought the zucchini noodles that I made at home, but I made them with instead of using the spiralizer, I used it with like a
mandolin.
Yes, and I really liked it better that way.
Yeah,
so,
that's nice.
and I made a nice bowl for everyone in case anyone else wanted it. Nobody wanted it with me. But I put her sauce on it, and I had a meatball with it. And
brilliant.
I was happy.
But maybe next time.
Yeah,
They gotta get used to it. Like dipping the
They
toe
won't
in
eat it.
first.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe they'll try it.
Maybe
at
they'll
the
try
least.
it.
But at least you had leftovers for
Right.
other
Then I brought it
meals.
home the next day. After the
Yeah.
next day, I had it for lunch. Yeah,
Well, that's a benefit.
so that worked.
What about anybody else, or is there any talk about socialization? Does anybody find anything that really works that we could share with somebody besides just bringing your own? Is there something else that works?
You can eat before. I also eat before I
Yeah, I
go,
do
so
that
I'm not
too.
really hungry when I go. And I always have water or something in my hand. See, I'm okay with that. And I like to drink once in a while. I like to have a martini here and there. But for the most part, if I'm okay going to a party and just drinking water. So if I just keep drinking a lot of water throughout the day, I don't usually feel left out, and then I feel kind of full. So those are some of the positives. And sometimes you still get sucked, or I do anyway, still get sucked in with desserts or something that's special that I don't normally have that's there. But I find that eating before, like eating something before, some kind of snack or an apple or something that's going to fill me up before, and then just keep drinking water, I find that a little bit helpful.
I find that's helpful too.
Yeah.
Like an apple, like eating a whole apple before, it's really it can last for quite a long
Yeah.
time, right? It's and then you're not hungry. But let's talk about that. Like pretend there is something that you really like, right? Do you eat it?
Yeah. Taste
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. You have a taste. You get to have some of it. Have you now? Are you at the place that you have some of it and then like, oh, because I had that, I can eat everything else, or do you kind of just? Where are you at with that?
Still working on that.
It's still in progress. Okay. Yeah. And so, I mean, sometimes it can be either way. You can choose to be it's one meal. You're like, okay, I'm gonna like just have whatever I want. Another time you go to a party, you're like, no, I'm gonna really plan it. I always find for me, strategizing prior to going. And kind of sometimes there's those unknowns. The unknowns is where I definitely bring something that's going to be fulfilling for me, right? Along with what you do, like eat something before, make sure that I'm going to have something to even to drink, like because I'm not a drinker, so I will bring a thermos of some tea that I like, and not just depend on water because I see everybody, so it just that's also important to me.
Or you could host.
Yeah.
That's
there
what I
you go.
usually like. Not usually, but the one time we had a barbecue and we had Anthony's parents and my parents over. And it was like when we first moved in, but it was nice because everything that was there was like what I would eat because we picked what we wanted to
And
make.
was everyone happy with that though?
Oh yeah, they were there. My dad liked the
Okay.
salad so much. My mom texted me the next day, "How do you make that salad? What's the dressing?" I was like,
Wow.
it was literally a bunch of random stuff I had in the fridge I threw together because we just moved in.
Right.
It was like a spur of the moment kind of barbecue thing. But Rosie helped me and she grilled up like this really nice piece of salmon and I put like fresh lemon and garlic on it and it wasn't big portions, but it was enough. We had watermelon for dessert. Like there was no like dessert and everybody was happy.
Oh, that's
We ate
good to
outside. Like it was nice.
See, that's like feeding people you love, right? And
Right.
everybody felt good. And I think that's the movement that we need to keep working on, right? And that's, I know I say this often, but you all are leaders in your own inner circle, right? You really are. And how you choose to eat is inspiring others, whether or not they know it or not, right? You are really working on
Yeah, my dad asked for a salad recipe. It's like unheard of.
that.
Guy eats like 3 foods his whole life, and one of them's pizza. So I was like, well, who's asking?
That's great.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you, so. Yeah, and I always love this one when I'm choosing, to taking those moments and, just being able not to be in a rush. We have plenty of time, we all have a lot of time in the day. That taking that breath and asking ourselves, is this going to bring me closer to the desired outcome or is this going to bring me further away? And that's really important to ask. And sometimes, there's that part of us, that fear part of us that's like, oh no, I'm used to this, I have to do this. But so once in a while try. I know we do it on those 2 times a year with the cleanse and you all do really well with that, but try other times, like, oh, you know what, I'm going to go to this party and I'm not going to have sugar. I'm going to go to this party and I'm not going to have alcohol, or I'm going to be like Lisa said, I ate less meat. Like try to do some of those different things. Doesn't have to be for the whole day, but maybe just for a certain period of or a meal. Just kind of thinking like that. But so before that, I want to read something. This is by this author, David Wolf. He was a lawyer, and then he turned into this like really major health advocate. So I just want to share. Okay, this is it's kind of funny, but the human body is an amazing farmer of good intestinal bacteria, also known as flora. You are a farmer. You farm your intestinal flora. A bad attitude can create storms, which can wipe out your harvest. A poor diet can create floods, which can wipe out your best farmland. Antibiotics are pesticides, which eventually destroy your delicate soil. Anger acidifies your soil. A lack of health disciplines allows weeds to invade your farm. Patience, consistency, and persistence bring forth an amazing harvest. So kind of keep that in mind.
That's good.
Isn't that pretty good?
That's really,
That really is good.
Yeah.
would you put that on the
Yeah.
Facebook page? That's
That would
really
be good.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really nice.
I'm gonna use that.
I like
Yeah.
that.
So antibiotics, so just keep that in mind. Antibiotics, not necessarily you're taking antibiotics in, but what you eat eats antibiotics. So be
right.
careful about the
We were
meat that
talking
you
about
eat,
that.
right? So just be careful of that. Watching your anger, right? Like that's another one we don't think about, right? It's their fault. No. It's not their fault. It's your own fault. It's how
Right.
you're perceiving. They're just being them, and that doesn't have. So just be really, careful of that. Your attitude, that's cool, right? Like, but we don't have to have a bad attitude. We get to choose our attitude, and some of that's by doing those good morning things that
That's just the most amazing thing. When you, in the morning, think of a positive thing, it does change your whole
Yeah, you
outlook.
put that nice thing on Facebook the other day. That was good.
Yeah.
About being positive. You choose
Yeah.
how you're going to
Yeah.
what kind of day you're gonna have.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was
But I
really
mean,
good.
if you just get up and do your 3 gratitude, I'm glad for blah, 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 your whole mindset changes. And it's so easy to do.
Mhm.
right, and then it just ends up becoming part of your who
Routine.
you are, and then you're able to continue to be that best version of yourself. All right, so talked about that. I mean, we really haven't been doing those mindful eating meditations, which we will get back to as the fall comes. Dairy detox. We'll just talk about that pretty quick. Casey talked about it a little bit. Do you want to talk about dairy detox?
Right here, yeah. So, that's going to be, of course, your cow's milk dairy, which the plant-based milks, I think a lot of us are using plant-based milks. Does anybody still use like cow's milk dairy? No. A little bit. Do you find that it bothers you or not really? So,
I don't drink a lot
okay.
of it.
You
but-
might find when you stop it though,
Mm-hmm.
that you didn't realize how it really made you feel. I
Yeah.
discovered that.
Yeah, and it's different for everyone. This is talking more about like skin, the outside, but for a lot of people, it causes issues. Like I know for me, like I'll feel congested, like I'll almost feel like I have allergies. I'll have like phlegm or like mucus. Like that is a very common thing that it causes as well. So if you find that you have issues with that, cutting it out can really be.
My son drinks a lot of milk. And he's always, he's 18, so
Right.
he's
But
typically
autism
anyway.
autism
Right,
children
the gut.
do usually do much better without dairy.
Right, because of the gut.
Yeah, it's very
Interesting.
inflammatory and it has a lot of hormones in it which affect our hormones, and like Georgia was saying about the antibiotics, a lot of these animals, all the antibiotics that are produced in America, more of them go to farm animals and things like that than people. So
Wow.
we have to take that into consideration, that these animals that we are taking products from, whether it be meat or dairy or whatever, we're getting what they're getting. So they're eating poorly and getting antibiotics, like that's what we're getting, from them. They're just like the middleman. So
Yeah.
cut it out if you can. And a lot of people, milk's not necessarily the issue, but the cheese and the ice cream and all those other things, like we're wired to want them because they
love
they
cheese.
play on our brain.
I love cheese, but I have to tell you, I think it gives me headaches. And I know that now that I don't eat it, or I
Mhm.
just eat it very rarely now.
Yeah.
I think when I look, I'm like, why would I always get headaches over many years and many years? And I really contribute that now to cheese.
Mhm. And you might find different things affect you in different ways. Like I know for me, like I can't eat like processed, like super processed cheeses, like the cheddar block or like American cheese. Like I can't. But if I eat a little bit of like feta or something like that, that's from a good source and it's like a good reputable brand and they don't use antibiotics and all that. Like I'm okay with it a little bit. And it's about like finding the balance and learning like, okay, this might cause this, but is it all of it or is it just some of it? Like, do you find the same?
I'm the same way. Like I can have like a little blue cheese in a salad or a little feta. But if my daughters make like macaroni and cheese over Thanksgiving, and I might have some. I'm constipated the next day. My skin doesn't, you know, and that like, and I'm telling you, I don't even have a lot. Like I'm just having a little bit, but it's enough to, like, I can't go to the bathroom, and I hate that feeling, you know. So that's my experience with that. But yeah, I'm good. Like I got some. I went to Baglioni's and I got some blue cheese. Oh, and I can eat manchego. Like I can eat a little, but I don't eat a lot. It's just once in a while. And
Yeah.
it's-
And you know, it depends how you incorporate it too. If you're having it along with something that's fried and super fatty, it's just not going to be a good combination. But like that salad I was telling you guys about that my dad loved, I had like the littlest. It was like the bottom of the thing. You could have honestly thrown it away, but there was like a tiny bit of feta left, so I put that in there with like olive oil and lemon juice and mix it up and let it sit, and it kind of creates like a little dressing. And it was like and it was a big bowl of salad, like spring mix, and it was enough to like make a nice like kind of creamy dressing, but it was made with feta cheese and not like your,
Oh, that's a great
you know, not like
idea.
a creamy oily
What
dressing.
did you put together? Lemon and lime?
Lemon, olive oil, very very finely minced garlic, that cheese, sort of a little bit.
Oh, that sounds good.
Thin sliced red onion, calamari, olives, cucumbers, tomatoes.
Yummy.
I think that was it.
That's great.
Yeah, that's the salad.
Oh, and has your son tried the other milks, the plant-based milks? Because I wondered if you have to, could you mix it, like put half of it into the
My
milk
husband
container?
is intolerant of dairy, so he has the other milks, and Andrew won't.
He won't even go near it. No, but can you mix, like, make a mixture of it and put it in the
He would
Milk-
know.
milk container?
He would know. He's very sensitive.
Yeah.
His
yeah.
senses are very
Sure.
heightened. He would know. Yeah. No, no thanks. That's what he. He's
What if
very
you
nice
stopped
about it.
milk? What if you like stopped milk? And you only had like a container of oat milk in there?
I don't know.
You might
Maybe
be
we could.
surprised what happens.
Yeah.
Oat milk is so good.
I
I
don't
was
know.
gonna say. We
We'll
were telling
try.
someone
Maybe
about
we'll
that
try.
today. It's very creamy.
That's
'Cause
really
he does
good.
get so pimply.
Mm-hmm.
And then so we just talked about like here replacing dairy, you know, with those plant-based meals. You know, cheese, a squash puree, like a butternut squash puree, tofu. We've done those cashew cheeses where you soak them and puree them on butter. You figured out how to take it out. You were so clever. Instead of butter, coconut oil, vegetable oil. You know, this is for, you know, for the reason if you just wanted to see if dairy's out of your diet. Cream, canned coconut milk is really a good way. We use that a lot when we want a cream sauce, and we might use canned coconut milk and then use a curry in there. So good with those different spices. Squash puree, potato puree, avocado is another one to make something creamy. And then white beans is another
I like
way.
that one actually. Like I've made a bunch of soups that use the white beans, and then you like use the immersion blender and like blend it up, and it makes it so creamy. Like you don't even get little pieces of like the outside. They're just so soft.
So here's our bugaboo. We hate to, you know, it's here to talk about this, but what does sugar do? Okay, are we gonna talk about? Yeah, okay, this is good. Too much refined sugar can damage the collagen and elastin in the
Skin.
making it look less tight and firm, more full and wrinkle. So at the age of what age do you think the body stops making collagen? 18. Close. 25. And sugar literally can accelerate that breakdown of collagen. Refined sugars are in everything from ketchup, pasta sauces, even baked beans to breads and snack foods. Use natural sweeteners like dates and honey. Stevia could be another one.
How about the monk fruit?
Monk fruit.
Got like a powdered monk fruit.
You know where they actually have a lot of options is I was in Home Goods, and they have date syrup, and it's just dates. There's nothing else added to it, and I bought it. I haven't used it yet because I'm scared. 'Cause I never used it before because I put maple syrup in my coffee. I have like a maple syrup addiction. Not really, but you know, I want to try something different, so I'll update everybody on how it is.
Okay.
I just
They
haven't
do
made.
have good stuff. That's where I just got my avocado oil too.
Yes.
And then I bought the vinegar with the date vinegar.
Yeah, they had a
Yeah.
lot of
I haven't used
different.
it yet, but
Cool.
doesn't that sound good?
Yeah.
They have like
Mm.
fig infused vinegars and
Yeah,
stuff,
they
and
have great stuff.
even like the Himalayan salt grinders and things like that's where I get all that stuff. I like forgot about that whole aisle. I walked in there.
No, I really like that.
I spent like 20 minutes.
I
Where
love
do
the
I go now?
Himalayan salt.
So I kind of
Iodine, girls.
I put together like some different things. Like, so I know you all are like, you know, making your smoothies, but I just want to show you some like different superfood things that you could like start to augment or enhance your smoothie with. So this is also like a good home goods thing that you can get. This raw cacao powder. Now, we didn't necessarily put this in the PowerPoint, but there's an aura. I know I've talked about this before. It's an ORAC scale. An ORAC scale means the amount of antioxidants in a certain food. And the USDA made up this thing. So the ORAC. This is literally the highest. It's like 100,000. This is like higher than this acai. This is, you know, the other. It's like 60,000. Let's put it into blueberries are like 6,000. Spinach is like 300. So kind of putting it into perspective.
Wow.
So if you just put right here a teaspoon, right? I mean, it's going to really bring your antioxidant level. Now, so many times we're afraid of eating chocolate, right? Because we're used to having the dairy and all that refined sugar. But if what I'm suggesting is just to start, you know, getting this, and you can start putting this, it's really going to slow down the aging process and really make your skin glow. Okay.
Show our online people.
So our online people, this is like another one. I love to go to Home Goods for this. I can buy it so much cheaper than if I go to ShopRite or to a health food store. Okay. And I'd like to get the raw, see it's cold pressed. Okay. Much better. Now I'm also, you know, in the next few months I'll share with you, but I'm also into using this ceremonial chocolate, which is cacao. So that is like literally the fat from the cocoa bean and the, you know, the powder all together, and it's so good. So good. So that'll, I'll tell you, show you more with that
It's
later.
very strong. Cacao is very strong because when you go to Hershey and you go to tour the factory, they give you a piece of the pure cacao, and it's very strong.
It is very
Yeah.
strong. And the difference there with Hershey is they're getting that cacao and they're processing it at very high heat, right?
Yes.
And so it's making it more acidic. Where this is more alkaline, which is going to support the body.
They used to, when we went to Mexico, where they grow it, they would make the bricks. Now we're talking a long time ago. And
Yeah.
they would travel across the desert with this and survive because the bricks would last a long time. And that was the only thing they had to eat.
That
Yeah.
is crazy. And those are like when I told you I did my cacao ceremony. That's what I had to buy was those bricks, right?
Oh,
And,
wow.
oh my
Okay.
gosh, it's so good, so good. So all right, so then there's other ones. So there's mushroom powders. Like these are something they just enhance your smoothie. They don't really have a lot of flavor, but I love this one, chaga. This one's really good for anti-aging. Rishi is really good for inflammation. Here's chaga. This one. Now they're a little expensive, but I'll be honest with you, me and my daughter use them regularly and they last a couple of months, right? So it's not like they look like, oh, that's a lot of money when you buy it, but they do last a while. These are really good for like the immune system and preventing chronic diseases. So, I mean, I always look at like, I'm going to invest in my body. So later on, I don't have to do those expensive surgeries and, you know, my quality of life is, you know, going to be
There are
good.
mushroom coffee blends too. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I used to use one. It
Yeah.
was like a nighttime one to make you sleep better. What is that company called?
I forget.
It'll come to me.
Enigma.
No, that's one of them, but
for
Sigmatic.
Yes.
Sigmatic.
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
used to use
Yeah.
those.
So yeah, and like lion's mane is good, you know. So just think like any of them. If you feel drawn to it, try it. It could be. Here's another one. This is Camu, and this is another one really high in vitamin C. Now, when I told you on your website, we have 3 new smoothie recipes that are enhanced for the beauty. So we're putting them on, we basically put them on there for you all. But so this is a great way to get vitamin C. Vitamin C helps stimulate collagen production. Okay, so this is another one that you could actually use. That could be that. I'm gonna show you guys. This is the Camu.
What is it? CAMU?
CAMU.
Thank you.
And that, once again, like, you don't have to do it all the time, but you feel like, okay, you're run down, you're stressed out, you've been just running. You know, that's the time you want to start to think, like, you don't wait till you're run down. You want to, like, you want to go there before you get there, you know, like before you're sick, you want to listen. Oh, I'm not feeling my best. I better get more rest. I better get to bed by 10. Oh, maybe I need to enhance my smoothie, or, you know, these would be the kind of things that you could do so you don't get sick. This is another one of my favorite ones. This is by Amazing Grass. You can buy at the vitamin shop. This is an adaptogenic powder. And I know I talk about it as adaptogenic powders that you can buy through Nutrimetrics at Axe or Bliss. I use this in addition to that, right? And if you're not using that, this is also another. It's got the ashwagandha, the rhodiola, the tulsi, and more. It has like some wheatgrass in it. Let's see, wheatgrass, and then the organic chaga. This is just, you don't notice the flavor, but it also, once again, it's helping us deal with our stress. So I like to buy mine from Vitamin Shop. I have a Vitamin Shop account. When I buy this from Vitamin Shop, I eventually earn points, and then I get them money back, right? So that could be something that you choose to do. I wouldn't buy any supplement from Amazon. There's too many fakes. So don't, like, you know, I know it's tempting, but don't buy supplements from Amazon unless you know they're like a good seller, right? Try to buy from other sources than just getting from Amazon.
Can you tell me what was the name of that one?
Amazing Grass, and it's called Organic Adaptogenic Powder. I could put pictures of it on Facebook.
Okay. Yeah, it's just hard. I have a little tiny screen.
Put pictures up for you, Colin.
Okay, thank you.
And then this is another one, acai powder. Now you can do this in different ways. Acai powder. You can buy it frozen in those little packs in the freezer at ShopRite, Acme. You can get it anywhere, or you could buy it powdered. There's different drinks.
Berries too.
These are berries from the Amazon forest. They're, now think about, by the equator. So these berries the sun has to protect themselves, right? So they grow. That's why there's so many antioxidants in there. We talked about the cacao, right? Where are they? And those hot by the equator. So these are really, really high antioxidant foods, right? But this one's a lot more. This one's a lot, not still high, but so I love to put this in here. Now, this one would not pair very well with the smoothie we had today, right? It just really wouldn't, nor would chocolate, which really wouldn't pair there. But these two together, the acai and the cacao, yum, yum, yum together, you know? And then, like, I know not everybody thinks, but I like to put a little almond butter, maybe a handful of cashews in with that. And then it's really a treat. And then, but not only that, it makes me feel satisfied early in the morning. This is also, cacao is mind soothing. It calms the mind. It gives an euphoric effect. So, like, you know, if you have any of that, chocolate's bad, I'm being bad. No, you're being really good. You're treating yourself and your brain chemistry really good. Let's face it, we are all still dealing with a lot. Like this COVID, this pandemic it's affecting us all. So do what you can to take care of yourself. And I really find making more chocolate smoothies is a good thing.
What else do you put in with the pie?
So, okay, so for me, like, I'll just give an example of a smoothie. And my smoothies change. I'm
Sure.
like, remember, smoothie is not science. It's a smoothie. So it's like, there's no for certain recipe, but at the bottom of my smoothie, I put my banana, I'll put my blueberries. Then I might put an apple if I have it, because I do like to have the apple because it gives me a lot more sweetness. And then I'll put if I need, I might put a date or two. Okay, that might go from there. Then I'm gonna start putting in my smoothies, my stuff. Now, might be spinach, some handfuls of spinach there, but generally I don't put any other vegetable, because then I go for this. I'll put this vitamin mineral green. So in here, this has got a lot of stuff. You guys, this is what this one looks like.
What's the name of that one?
Called Vitamin Mineral Green. So this one has a lot of different things in it. It's got nettle and carrot powder, alfalfa, barley grass, wheatgrass, horsetail, parsley, ginger, barley grass, basil, oat grass leaf, dandelion, moringa, amla berry, which is in trifala, holy basil, chickweed, spirulina, chlorella, kelp, dulse, nori, and then enzymes. So it's kind of a lot, so I do use a tablespoon of this every time in my smoothie. So there I go. Then I'm going to put this in, and then I'm going to put this in, and then I'm going to put this in. So all that goes in my smoothie along with my protein powder.
And when you said banana apple, are you using a whole banana and a whole apple, or just a piece of it?
I am using a whole
Okay.
banana.
So it must make a
I
lot.
couldn't fit that in my thing. It's
So
small.
mine's big, and I'm kind of like Joanne. I drink it'll make one for my husband and then two for me, and so that's kind of how that goes for me. I don't know. It works for me.
No,
Like
it's good.
if I have less, then I'm hungry. I don't want to be hungry.
Do you do it every day?
I don't do it every day. No. Some days I might just have a piece of fruit. Like that might be it. Other days, like today, I knew I had this day, so like I had that, and I knew my lunch was small because my lunch was half of what I had for dinner. So I knew what was coming. So that was that. And then I knew I was having this. And then I have eggs and vegetables another day, and that's pretty much how it's kind of myriads from those two.
Do you just put like a teaspoon into this kind of just a
Yes, a
little?
teaspoon of each of
Okay.
them.
Mhm.
This one I put the most in, Now, I'm not saying you have to, these are just ideas. I just want to introduce you all to some
I'm grateful
other.
for seeing all this.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to do a road trip to Home Goods.
Yeah, just that one aisle.
Just that one aisle, exactly. And
Just talk
here's
about
my
it.
hot tip is that one in Cape May Courthouse is like really good
Oh,
compared to the one in Mays Landing, Home Goods, and in all regards with the
Oh.
decorations and every which way. Here's another one. This is called maca. And maca is like, if you like, what do you call that? Like malty.
It's got a nutty taste to it.
So not everybody likes this, but this is maca is really great for sexuality, is great for as an adaptogenic herb.
If
It's
you have
not
any
a-
hormone issues, it can help to rebalance.
energy, more energy.
Bring
So
it.
yeah, so this is adapted fiber. Once again, here's the fiber, amino acids.
There's different kinds. So this one's the yellow maca. There's also red.
Oh yeah, there is.
Red is better for men. Yellow is better for women, like hormone balance wise.
Okay.
And they don't all come in powder, right? Sometimes
No,
they
and
come in
yeah,
like a
and
gel thing.
Yeah, that's I always get the Joe. I don't know what it is, but if you look on it, it says it.
And just remember, like whatever not everything is always for everybody at every time. Like you might be drawn. I might have said something and something triggered in you. Oh, that sounds good. Go to what you were called to. If something didn't really call you, don't go buy all these things. Just try one thing and just see how does this do with my body, but only like really what you're drawn to. this stuff is like amazing. I do have an account with them. I don't, because we've been closed, I don't have like the resources. So I'm not like bringing it into the building, right? So just keep that in mind. If you wanted, I can, you're like, hey, I want to try that. I can order that for
How
you.
much is that? Wow.
I say I buy the big one because it cuts the cost a lot. I don't know the exact amount, but I just like when I think about, oh, that's it's pricier. They do sell it at Vitamin Shop, but if you are gonna buy it and you want to it would support me, and I could order that. But just let me know.
Okay.
They do have smaller ones. They do have it in capsules. However, capsules are more expensive, right? So it's better to me put it in a smoothie, and plus capsules, you're at that risk of it not being absorbed, right? You're at that risk of it just passing through, right?
Can you smell the spirulina in that?
Smell it?
Yeah, because for me, and I'm sure it's just me, I have this thing that smell kind of bothers me a little bit.
Grassy.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's that.
Okay, I'll pass it around. You're more than welcome to
Take a whiff.
smell it.
Did you go over the acai like at the bungalow bowls and sorry.
I did it, but you feel free.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys go to any of those places like
Can
bungalow
we use that
bowls
down
or
or like lay them, like put it here and we'll.
Okay.
their acai, and even in the grocery store, like if you buy the
Yeah,
frozen
just lay it like
acai,
this,
like
and then we can
blend and
just-
stuff,
Oh,
it can
that's
have so much sugar.
Just take a picture of
So
all
you
of
have to
these.
make sure you read the label. Like, that's why I grabbed this. to
There
look
we
at it,
go.
'cause it's got no sugar in it.
Oh,
So these are a good option, but
That
they do
makes
have
sense.
them, like the frozen ones you can use to make a, oh, here it comes.
Oh.
What do you think, Lisa?
That way, thank you, because
So
that
just
way.
be mindful of that, because that's like one of those things that's been like highly marketed and
I
used
don't know if anybody
Oh,
else
yeah.
wants to
I
sell a
went there.
picture of
things
it.
and-
That
yeah.
way.
It's like,
Remember
I
that
don't know.
time? I'll
It's
never
like-
forget that. We went to, I think it was Bungalow Bowls, and we got acai bowls, and they give you a wooden spoon, and I thought that I cut the inside of my mouth with it because I was getting one of those little sores. That was from all the
You
sugar.
can do that.
I wasn't even done halfway eating
Let's
it,
do
and
it
I had
this way.
sore.
Even do this. One more.
Are you gonna post it?
Sure.
That was what I was gonna ask.
Thank you, Carol. We appreciate that. But that being said, like going to Bungalow Bowls when you need sugar, like you want something sweet, that's a good idea. Just not the acai, just not the coconut, because they're using ice cream. They're using a sorbet. You can get the pataya, that one's an okay, or the green, or the
Really?
ocean.
It's not loaded with sugar?
Mm-mm.
I like vegetable banana.
And then
Oh, I
bashful
love
banana.
bashful
thing.
banana.
Playa bowls is pretty good too.
How do
like
they
their
make
green
the
one.
bashful banana?
They're
They put it through thing.
Yeah, you can get
It's
one of
frozen.
those.
It's
frozen, yeah.
Because when I put a banana in my blender, what do I have? I don't know.
Nutribullet?
Yeah, the little one.
I don't know why it's accepted.
I put the banana in, it won't.
Put a drop of
Cut it
almond
up
milk
before
with
you
it.
freeze it too.
Oh,
Chop it up
okay.
small before you freeze it.
Yes, make it into like little carrot coins, banana coins, and
I
then
can.
like Lisa said, just put a couple drops of your some
Okay.
sort of milk in there, or even if it's water.
All right.
It's upside down.
It doesn't matter.
Makes it more fun.
We'll
I know a
figure
lot
it
of people
out.
love avocado. I was not brought up with avocado, so I'm just getting used to, like, I'm not in the habit of buying it and eating it. But somebody told me that in the smoothies, they're really good.
Mhm.
And that you can buy frozen avocado.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Oh.
that in the regular stores around here?
Yeah.
Okay,
I've
I
seen it
didn't
in
know.
Walmart before. It's like
Wow,
wedges of frozen avocado.
That would
Oh.
be great.
I don't find it tastes like a little unripe to me.
That's
but
my
Oh.
feeling.
That's just me. I'm very picky about when I eat my avocado. Rosie knows. I'm very specific.
But would it be good to put in the smoothie that way?
Yeah.
Or is it better to have a riper one, nutritionally?
Yeah, because riper is gonna be more cream. Is gonna be creamier. If
Yeah.
you have an unripe one,
It
if
doesn't have
you're,
that grassy aftertaste. At least
if
I.
you've ever had an unripe avocado, you can smell it.
I can.
It
I'm like,
doesn't have
Yeah,
a.
you can smell it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't taste right.
You know what actually makes smoothies really creamy and good is zucchini.
That's
You
great
put
to
zucchini
know. I
in-
have a half a zucchini in there.
And
That's
it adds
great to
fiber. It makes it really creamy. You barely even taste it because zucchini on its own
Zucchini
tastes almost like
doesn't
nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
It's
it
with it.
will help. And then you're not adding like if you're really trying to cut back on sugar and you find yourself like only being able to drink smoothie with like banana because it's creamy, try that. Like half a zucchini, half banana. You know what I mean?
That's really
Put your
good.
veggies in.
I'll try it tomorrow.
Everyone has zucchini laying around in summertime.
I just throw the bananas whole in the Ziploc bag, but I have to cut them first.
Yeah, for your little blender, I would cut them.
Peel, like, take them out of the.
Yeah. So Georgia, can I get that recipe for that smoothie you made?
Yeah, like I said, so we have, it's literally on the website, but we're
never
gonna,
mind then.
it's on the website, but there's a couple spelling errors. We need to correct it tomorrow, but you can go on it right now with the spelling errors.
Cucumber, watermelon, basil, ice. I saw.
And chia seeds?
Jeez.
You could put spinach in there. It's supposed to have spinach, but like I said, go to Vitality, go under recipes. It's under breakfast.
You know, I made a mistake this morning in my smoothie, and it was a happy mistake. because,
Yay!
I forgot to put the chia seeds in, and then I realized it was still sitting there. And I'm like, oh, if the spoon is there, that means I didn't put it in, and it was already done. So I unscrewed the top, and I put in my chia seeds, and I only pulsed it once, but I enjoyed it better. I liked it like that better.
That's
First
what
of all, it
Trina
wasn't-
says she does. She does it afterwards
Oh.
because she likes the texture.
I like
in
it.
it.
More
Little-
like the chia seed pudding almost.
Yeah, it like kind of like I like a little like snap, and I felt like it wasn't, maybe didn't give it the opportunity to start getting too thick yet. I really liked it, and it was just a mistake that went good.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, sometimes mistakes are meant to be. Yeah. So, anybody have any questions or anything they want to add?
There's another bottle of stuff. I haven't ever tried it, but people talk about it, that you mix with water and it's green. It's something green.
Blue-green algae?
No, it's like something greens, and it's just a powder of greens, like, and you mix it with water.
Yeah, you
Some
can
people
use
drink
this.
it every day, you know, as like a vitamin drink kind of thing. But
And we have one that's amazing that way. If you're gonna do that, I would go with that one. Carol uses it. Yeah, like that one is so good because it tastes good. Many times those
Yeah, I was
greens
wondering about
don't
that.
taste good. So you know, we talk about like it makes you feel good, but if it doesn't taste good, we
Yeah.
don't tend to go to use it, and then it just goes bad.
Mm-hmm.
So that one I just love because it really does make you feel good and it tastes good.
Oh, and that's ordered through.
That's called the Complete Greens.
It's good. It tastes like a tiny hint of like vanilla-y, but not overpowered. Like it still tastes like a green drink to me, but it's like kinda
it's
sweet. Like it's good. It's not.
Yeah, and it's
much.
you know, it has a lot of vegetables in it.
Yeah, my one client, he loves it. He ordered like four jars of it. It's crazy. I know.
Is it green in color?
Mhm.
It comes with a little scooper inside. It's really.
It's supposed to be
My
like
body
10
wanted to be
servings
green.
of vegetables.
Oh, yeah.
So if you don't eat your vegetables.
It's good.
But that's not us. That was us in the past.
Right.
What if you put it in a lid? and
No,
shrink?
because he knew it. I already had told him, so he already knew.
Okay, so they're hi.
So last time we did the fiber. So your challenge this time until our next meeting is to either continue that, because sometimes it didn't, you know, you
Yeah, I
didn't
need
really
more work.
ground it in your body, or you were like, okay, now I want to work on the sugar. I find that that's something I want to work on. So either one, you get to choose.
And I guess we could continue with the fiber and maybe add the sugar.
You're
I mean,
feeling up.
not add the sugar.
Yeah.
The counting of the sugar.
Yeah, you could. It really depends. Like Dawn maybe wants to, you know, you kind of,
Yeah.
Sounds good. Do you have any more of those sheets or,
Roadmap sheets?
yeah, the roadmap sheet?
I put it on Facebook.
Oh, it's not on Facebook.
Are you
I'll
sure?
print it out at home, yeah.
I think it still says week
I always
5 at the top of the sheet, even though it's week 6. It has the right dates along it,
Oh,
but you know how in the title it says.
Yeah.
Did you just put it on recently or should I scroll back a while?
Today, yeah.
Oh,
like
okay. All right.
2-3 hours ago. maybe.
Okay,
That's such
great.
a good idea, that tracking.
I love it
Really
too.
good.
It's really good.
and
It's
just
really
see if you
difficult.
try to like bring it along with you and just see what happens when you do something. Now, I mean for everything, but something that you're really working on, so you can find that difference of like get that success coming in.
Yeah.
It feels good whether or not you do it right away, and if you want to put it on the calendar, you're gonna notice differences.
Mhm.
Like Dawn, for you, if you go to the ice cream custard
Yes.
hut, and you get a small, go home and check it off. Like, I got a small, like,
Right.
reward yourself, right?
And
Like,
post it on the Facebook page.
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
So we can
My
all,
treat.
yeah.
because that's the
Try to
key,
get-
right? It's
Yeah.
not about not eating it. It's
Right.
about getting less of it,
Right.
and then maybe you intersperse it. Oh, go to the vegetable banana,
I
you
know.
know,
There
along
we
with
go.
that.
Yeah.
They have so much.
My chiropractor's in Ocean City, and last Monday, I had such a hard time getting there. I was like, "See you in September, pal." I can't.
The traffic's been, the traffic's been bad.
It's
It's
bad.
just bad.
I know.
Maybe in a couple weeks, because the season's kind of over
Do you
now.
ever go to see the birds though, right near the information center on 9th Street Bridge?
I don't see.
Anybody ever
I
go?
just
Do you ever
drive
go there?
over the bridge.
yeah.
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah. So
Sometimes we
there's
go
still
and we
some
see-
babies in the nest. So I don't
Oh,
think there will be for very
wow.
long, but
Oh,
some of
that's
them have
cool.
already flown away, but some
Oh,
are still
that's
there. And it's so
nice.
noisy because they're all chirping.
Oh.
Oh,
Great.
It's really sweet.
So, and then I just have a quick favor, or the best of the press is having their nominations. So I would love to see
Oh.
Vitality listed
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
So if you just went on like Atlantic City Press, Best of 2021, we're under Health and Beauty. And then you find nutrition,
Okay.
and then you could just add us or just check us, and you just have to put your name. So that would be super helpful. The more
Yes.
seeing us.
Have you won before?
No, I've never tried to do anything like that. I'm just trying to figure out how to get myself out there more. I've
Yeah.
kind of been just on my little lone island, and it's time for
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
it's not to think.
Sorry.
It's a really good idea.
It's under best of the press.
Best of the
I
press
get the press.
2021.
Usually we get it every morning, and usually
2021.
I haven't seen it advertised yet, but because it comes out by the end of summer, right?
Yeah, so like right now it's nominations, and then in a month it's voting.
Nominations.
Voting
Oh.
for
Yeah.
so
Okay,
right
so
now
that-
we're just trying to get nominated.
Oh, I see.
And then
Okay,
they'll be
alright.
they'll tell us when the voting, and then I think it's like September
That's
they'll
great.
they'll announce
Here, I'm just
who the
pulling
winners are.
Best of the press.
What happened with the Fresh Start
We did it.
challenge?
Yeah,
How'd
we
that
did
go?
it. Well, it was okay, right?
Yeah, it was okay.
What's this? Best of the press.
Everything's good that gives you like just
Yeah.
more motivation to move forward.
Mhm.
To nominate a business, click here.
Yay! Thank you
Oh,
for
good.
doing it.
Well, I'm trying to
Super
figure this
appreciate
out.
it.
It's taking a while.
You are tired. Yeah. So is it late? Yeah.
Lisa hits a wall.
I do.
And then she gets
Best of the
tired.
press.
All right. Well, then we will close for tonight, and we'll see you back here on the
Health and
11th.
beauty.
Thank you.
Health and
And
beauty.
beauty.
Health and beauty,
Okay.
baby.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Thank you for tonight. That was really good.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Sorry,
Glad you were here.
No, no, that's okay.
Thanks, Don.
Oh, health and beauty, there's like hair.
Bye,
places.
Colleen. Bye.
Goodbye, guys. Thank you very much.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Just
Bye.
throw 'em.
Just throw 'em.
Can you add something, or do you
Well,
think
that's what
what's
I'm-
already there? I'm gonna do it on the computer at home. I think it's probably
Yeah, it's
easier.
probably